your presence. And welcome to Let's Talk Ghost. I'm your host, Steve.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Will.
And it is August 17th, 2014.
Sure it is.
Yes, it is. Now, don't you believe anything else you might hear, any ugly rumors. How you doing, Dan?
Doing all right.
What you been up to?
Just enjoying the summer, waiting for school to start again.
Yeah. Should be coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, a couple more
When
weeks.
does school start?
Oh, September 2nd, 3rd.
Is that when it starts?
It's the first day after Labor Day.
I thought colleges started back in August.
Broome
Some.
Community College, SUNY Broome. No, it starts.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
always
Like-
thought they start. Some do start earlier, right?
Yeah, some of the colleges I've been to.
Yeah, some of the many.
Some of the
20,
many
30.
start, like third week of August-ish.
Okay.
But
Just wondering.
for whatever reason, SUNY Broome starts first week of September.
And how you doing today, Toothless? I mean,
Yeah. I lost the crown off my root canal today.
Yeah.
I still have it. I have a dentist appointment tomorrow morning, so
Yeah, you'll get her put back in.
yeah.
I told you I'd help you. There's many ways of replacing it. There's
Is
super
there?
glue, Gorilla
Yeah.
Glue,
Gorilla Glue
or
works well.
like a sheetrock screw.
Yeah, well, there's already a screw in it, I think.
Oh, is-
Yeah.
Yeah, but like a 3-inch sheetrock screw would really hold it
It
in.
wouldn't fall out,
Probably not.
and you definitely would need some painkiller or something.
Yeah,
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, I always wanted to be a dentist.
Yeah, at least a lot of alcohol then.
Yeah. And maybe a couple quarts of Novocaine.
That's how they did in the Old West.
Yeah, that's right.
Get you drunk.
Yep.
So Dan, what have you been up to? Anything? Just hanging out?
Just hanging out.
How's your goldfish doing?
They're doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's now. Do you ever get bored and try and fish for him, make a little fishing pole?
No, but the one will actually, if you put your finger down there, he'll come up and nibble on your finger.
Yeah.
And if you put your hand inside the fish tank, you can actually pick him up. He'll let you pick him up.
Huh. Yeah, make a little miniature fishing pole with and tie on a little tiny. Don't use a hook.
Right, obviously.
But see if you can that'd be funny.
Does he let you pet him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he roll over and let you rub his belly?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. The other fish, when you put your hand in the tank, all the rest of them scatter and stay away from your hand.
Yeah.
This one goldfish comes right up to your hand and lets you scoop him up and kind of looks at you making his little fishy face and.
Maybe he's depressed and wants to end it all, and he says, "Come on, just flush me and get her over with."
You
I
should
don't-
name him Shark Bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Or Handy.
Did you guys ever see Finding Nemo?
No.
No, it's just part where
Oh, I've seen it.
he gets in the fish tank and they're like, Shark Bait, woo ha ha.
See, I didn't know where that was from because I've never seen it.
Yeah,
No. Hey, this is Let's Talk Ghost.
it is.
Not Let's Talk Fish.
Yeah. No, this is not fish. This is ghosts. Little spooky things. I've seen my wife walk on the camera. She's out behind your car. I think she's breaking into your car.
She is breaking into my car.
I don't know. She's doing something back there. That's all right. We have a security camera in the studio that kind of looks out over our driveway, and I can see my wife on it. She's breaking into Dan's Ghostmobile.
Yeah, she's getting into my trunk for some reason.
Maybe she's putting the deposit cans in there.
Oh, that's probably what
Yeah.
she's doing.
Yeah, because you were going to take a bunch of cans back for us.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
LTG Cruiser.
The
Yeah, the
LTG.
LTG Cruiser. Yes.
Yeah. It's the car we take to all of our events and
Yes.
investigations because it has a lot of storage space.
Yes.
It's
Now-
it's a Scion XB, so it's kind of
Now,
boxy.
of course, now when people hear this show, we'll have already been at the Buffalo. Of course, everybody knows we do pre-record,
Yeah.
Right.
and we are going, or we have gone to the Buffalo Naval Museum.
Yes. It was a fun time.
It was a fun time, yes. Anyways, we don't have a guest tonight, and what we're going to talk about, we got a couple good talking points, and I'm going to let. No, I forgot to start my timer, didn't I?
Yeah.
That's all right. You're going to have to keep me.
I noticed it right from the get-go, too, when the intro is still playing.
Yeah, you're going to have to keep me informed on our time. That's all right. We'll live.
I wanted to wait until the show got in far enough to where you didn't want to start over.
Now I'm going to have a panic attack.
Yeah.
I'm so used to having my timer counting down that now I don't have it. That's all right. We'll do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. Use our fingers to
Yeah,
count
it's
down.
60 seconds. You'll start counting down one at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to let Will take this one.
Are you sure that's smart?
No, yes, it is.
Okay.
Will, take over about Aaron.
Oh, yeah. Aaron Goodwin. There was a story that broke, I believe it was this week. That
A couple weeks ago.
Well, a couple weeks ago, that said that Aaron Goodwin was fired from Ghost Adventures. Evidently, he went on this podcast and went on an 8-minute rant about Ghost Adventures and how they're fake.
Right.
And, I was talking to you that night on the phone. You said, well, I'm going to look up that podcast.
It doesn't exist.
I did as well, and it doesn't even exist.
No, I Googled that guy's name. I Googled the podcast, and it doesn't even exist. I mean, if it existed, it would have come up in Google.
Yeah.
Because if you Google Let's Talk Ghosts, we come up all over the place.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're famous. We come
We
up
are.
all over the place.
We're famous, infamous, and anything else you want to call
Yeah.
us. And so I Googled that show, and I Googled the host name and all that. It doesn't even exist.
Yeah, and, I always take anything I read on the internet with a grain of salt.
Well, where I saw it was Facebook.
Yeah, well, that's where I saw it as
And
well. But I did.
Facebook is the worst place to get any kind of legitimate news because people just post whatever the hell they want.
They just make
when
stuff up.
When you
Yeah.
clicked on it, it did take you to an actual website with the story there. But the story was fake. The next morning, I saw a post on my Facebook from Aaron Goodwin saying, to everyone who read this post, please, it's a bunch of BS. I'm actually in Ireland right now filming an episode for next season.
It was nothing but a made-up story to start rumors. It was nothing more than that. Aaron Goodwin is still a member of the GAC crew, and he will be until the show is forevermore, as long as the show is airing, and probably even afterwards. So I don't think, they're not gonna. Number one, he would never do that.
No.
I mean that he just wouldn't do that. So.
I'm sure he's under contract and stuff not to talk about certain things.
I'll give you a perfect example of Facebook BS. About, I don't know, this was probably about 7 or 8 months ago. Somebody posted this photograph of a dead deer with a little fawn curled up with it, right?
I remember that photo.
And it was like PETA or somebody had got this photo and they put on there that a heartless hunter shoots mother deer while baby curls up next to dead mother type thing, right? Mm-hmm. And they wanted to make it, and the way they posted it was that some heartless hunter killed that deer with a little tiny baby fawn with him, right? So I'm looking at that, and there is absolutely no evidence in the picture that deer was killed by a gun. So I'm looking at it, and I said, matter of fact, it didn't even look like forest land underneath it. It looked like asphalt. So I kind of put my comments in there saying, hey, you can't believe everything you see on Facebook. Don't start knocking hunters just because somebody posts something like this.
Right.
This picture is not what you think it is. And I said, this has no evidence that it was killed by a hunter. It's just a photograph. That's nothing more, nothing less. So I Googled dead doe with baby, and lo and behold, this picture comes up on Google. And some guy had put together a photo journal. He was like a photojournalist, and he put together a bunch of photos of animals that had been killed by cars.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it was. And that picture was in. And when you went and found that picture, you could see there was a dead deer alongside of a road. It had been hit by a car. It wasn't shot by a hunter. It was hit by a car. And it just happened to have a fawn with it. So the fawn might have laid down with it. Or the fawn could have been dead and posed with the mother. I don't know. But just to show you that do not believe every single thing you see on Facebook and this. That people, whether it's for political reasons, which most of the time it's either political or they're a member of some group and they're trying to get points across, like PETA.
Or there's people that just have way too much free time and just making up stories about people.
And they're just grabbing photographs and making up their own personal stories just to get people mad. Like here all these people were bad-mouthing hunters. I know a lot of hunters, and most of the hunters I know, all of them I know, they're all good hunters. They don't do that sort of thing.
Well, and hunting seasons are set up so that the mother deer, the
There
babies
wouldn't be
are-
a fawn with a deer.
Right.
Deer give birth in this early spring, and deer hunting is in the fall.
Fall
That
into the
little
winter.
fawn would be almost a full-grown deer by then.
On its own.
Yeah, and on its own, away from its mother.
Yeah.
So to be, the only way you're going to shoot a doe with a fawn is if you're
Poaching.
poaching,
Then you are breaking the law, and
you should be arrested.
Right.
So you can't believe all the stuff you see. Facebook is full of crap.
Also, if the deer's laying on asphalt, you can't hunt within
500 feet of a road.
of a road.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you're hunting on a road, then you're breaking the law
Which,
again.
by the way, we're not saying we're for or against hunting. We're not saying we're for or against PETA, because I think there's a need for both in this world.
I have nothing against, but these groups that put phony but I am absolutely against false information.
Yeah, that's the point we're trying to make.
Don't call a hunter a bad person by posting a photo that
Wasn't even killed by a hunter.
wasn't even killed by a hunter.
Right.
That's just wrong. And the same thing goes, and I'm seeing more and more because I do have a lot of paranormal friends on my Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
People that are in different groups, and people are posting different videos. Oh my gosh, did you see this video? Did you see this video? And you start looking at these ghost videos that people are posting, and you can tell that 90% of them that you look at they're
Or more.
they're phony. You can tell they're made.
Yeah,
That
I
they've
agree.
That they've been faked, and I don't understand it. It depresses me. Why do people have to fake paranormal evidence? I really don't understand the reasoning behind it,
It's for attention. That's the only thing I can think of.
because you're getting no gain from it.
No.
And once you're called out on it, you're made to look pretty stupid. Now, if you're faking paranormal stuff for like movies or films or college credits, where you're in the film class and you're making a monster movie and you gotta
Yeah.
have or a ghost movie, and that I have no problem with that, because you're making a film, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But there's people out there that are creating paranormal evidence and presenting it as real, authentic paranormal evidence. And I just, for the life of me, I'll never understand why they think they need to do that.
It's just people that are bored or want attention.
I mean, are they people who are
I doubt it's.
trying to advance themselves in the field?
Well, no. Most people that are making this, my guess is most people that are making these fake videos have nothing to do in the paranormal field at all. They're just trying to get videos. People like getting their videos on YouTube and on
Right.
different things, and they can see how many views they're getting. So they're trying to, these are probably just like teenagers or.
Do you think some people?
Yeah.
Do you think there's groups out there that are faking evidence
I'm
to
not gonna
advance
say-
their group?
I'm not gonna say that there's not, because I'm sure there are groups out there that do produce fake evidence to try to make their groups
Because they want to try to get a TV show. and
Right.
if suddenly they're producing all this really awesome evidence.
And,
Right.
and that's what you got to keep in mind. People like watching videos on YouTube, you know?
Right.
But my guess is that a lot
Except
of
ours.
my,
Oh,
my guess is though that a lot of the fake videos are not done by paranormal investigators or anybody in the field,
right.
No.
but by people who just have free time and a video camera. Like a bunch of teenage people sitting around,
Well-
like bored, like, hey, let's make some fake ghost videos.
Well, this is one statement I'll say, and I think any legitimate paranormal investigator out there listening to my voice will agree. Anybody who fakes evidence, anybody who fakes paranormal evidence and presents it as real evidence, they are not paranormal investigators.
No. And just get out of the field, because you're
Because-
giving the rest of us bad
Because
names.
you are not advancing the field. All you're doing is confusing the field. You're just throwing more fodder into the mix. You're just making it you're just messing it up.
well, and it's ammunition for
It's
the
ammunition for the critics
Yep.
and the skeptics, because so much of this stuff is being faked. Now, I mean, for God's sake, they have an app. They make an app for faking ghosts, making fake ghosts.
Oh yeah.
I mean, really?
But if you've been in this field long enough, you can look at those fake pictures and you know which ones are fake and which ones are real.
You know what I see where the problem is, though? There is so much fake evidence out there now that it's getting harder and harder to tell the difference. I mean, you almost have to call everything a fake.
Yeah.
Because there is just so much fake, and I feel bad for the guy who actually gets something, who gets really good evidence and it's real, and he actually captures something, and everybody's gonna say that's just another fake video or that's just another fake EVP, because there's just so much fake stuff out there that it's just gonna be really, really difficult to present something as real now.
Yeah.
It makes it tough. That's why I've always said your evidence is your evidence. If you're a member of a group and you go out and you go investigate a haunted house and you get that really cool EVP, you get like we did, we got a video of a shadow person. That's our evidence. That's our evidence for our group. We share it. We tell you what we did. We tell you that we did not fake it. You have to take our word for it, which in this day and age is worth nothing.
Right.
When a group tells you, take our word for it, it doesn't mean anything. But so that evidence becomes our evidence and our evidence alone, because it can't be, nobody else can look at that evidence and say, oh yeah, that's real. That's real.
Yeah.
They're not gonna. They're gonna look at our EVPs. They're gonna look at our shadow figure and say, they faked that. That's not real. And that's all they have to do is just say, oh, it must be fake. So your evidence is your evidence, and really can't go any further than that when you think about it. So what are we in the field for? We're in the field for our own personal quest for answers.
I've always said you can convince some of the people all of the time, but you can never convince all of the people even some of the time.
No. Huh? No.
I know it's a little confusing, but
I know what you're saying.
It makes sense.
Skeptics have it easy. Non-believers and skeptics have it very easy. All they have to say is, you're a bunch of nuts. You guys are a bunch of kooks and a bunch of nuts, and they feel good about themselves because they don't have the balls to stand up and say, yes, I believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
Yes, I think there is something out there. They don't have the balls to stand up and say, and to say that. So it's so much easier for a skeptic or a non-believer to stick to his guns and call us kooks and say that no way is any of this real, because it's a safe stand to take.
Yeah.
Because they won't be ridiculed. We're ridiculed. We are ridiculed daily by non-believers and skeptics. So it's a safe stand.
Yeah. But you know what?
And it's going to be a while. It's not as bad as it used to be.
I know what I've seen. I know what I've heard. I know what has happened with me on investigations. So if people want to ridicule me for it, that's fine.
I almost feel sorry for them, in a way. People that don't believe in the skeptics, I almost feel sorry for them, because it almost reminds me of when this group of the world people said the world is round. But they're the ones that said, no, it's flat. You're going to go off the edge. Because that was the main belief before people were sailing off. They're saying, you sail off that horizon, you're just going to fall off the edge of the world.
Yeah.
And it was easier to believe that than it was to believe the earth was round. Was it Da Vinci? Which one was it that almost lost his life because he was so adamant about the world being round?
I think that was Galileo.
Galileo was so adamant about the earth being round.
Because he was known for the astronomy and
right, and
stuff, yeah.
That he came very close to being executed
for
that belief, for a heresy, because the world was flat, and that's what everybody believed. And here he wanted to stand and say, no, it's not flat; it's round. Earth is a globe, and he came very close to being actually executed for heresy.
Yeah,
and we're seeing that a little bit on a different level, but with ghost hunting. But it's where I've been saying right along though, is the shows, all the TV shows have brought this a little bit more to mainstream.
Oh, a lot more, not just a little bit more,
a lot more. So it's a lot easier to talk about it, and it's a lot more accepted.
Yeah.
So it is making it, whether you love ghost hunters or hate ghost hunters or Ghost Adventures or any of these shows.
Yeah.
Love them or hate them, no matter how silly they are. Some of them are a little silly, some of them are very serious.
Well, especially like the reenactment shows.
The reenactment shows are kind of silly, but
well, they, I'm sure those stories have some credibility, but then
they're taking a person's personal experience and
they're
reenacting them,
and
they do embellish.
Yeah, they over dramatize.
They embellish and they over dramatize. Otherwise, it wouldn't be very exciting.
Right.
If they actually showed on TV what real ghost hunting was like,
nobody would do it.
It's not very exciting. But it's something we love.
Well, I wouldn't say nobody would do it, but right. I mean, ghost hunting. I mean, because I've been involved in actual like research at colleges and stuff, and doing research like biological like botany research and stuff is about at the same level as ghost hunting. I mean, right. it's a lot of grunt work and a lot of boring hours,
right, to
get very little results.
Right.
So like when you're working in a lab and stuff, I mean, so it's a form of science. You're using scientific equipment, and yeah.
And of course, that is the you're talking about science, and what we do is not science.
Well, it's pseudoscience.
It's pseudoscience.
Yeah.
And just because, and this is what investigate. How much time we got left before we get halfway?
Don't worry about it.
You'll let me know.
Maybe.
All right. What we do is we use electronic equipment. We use video recorders. We use tape, our video voice recorders, video tape recorders, whether it's tape or video or digital. We use different type of EMF meters. We use thermal imaging. We don't, but there's thermal imaging. There's all kinds of equipment that's electronic, digital equipment. That does not make you scientific.
Nope.
That doesn't mean you're a scientific investigating crew.
It just means you're using scientific pieces of equipment.
Well, in a way, yes. In a way, no. They're not even really scientific equipment. They're just, when you think about it, most of the equipment we use was designed for something else.
And really doesn't collect any actual data.
The only thing that collects data is a voice recorder and a...
That's not even really data.
Data is sound. Anything you can record is data in a way. But I'm just saying, we record video and audio. We're not capturing our EMFs. We're not capturing our... it's just... Look up the term scientific method. It's on our website. And you'll understand why when I say nobody is scientific, because nobody, unless you're a college.
Yeah, you'd have to be like a university.
You'd have to be a university or a very serious group with some deep pockets.
And a lot of time.
Because to properly investigate a place using the scientific method could take years.
Oh, it would take.
It would have to take years.
Yeah.
And not investigating, you don't go from using the scientific method. You're not going to go from one location to another location to another location to another location.
That's completely detrimental to using the scientific method.
That would absolutely not be the scientific method.
Yeah, it really actually is. Yeah, that makes no sense.
You have to find a haunted location that you believe is haunted. And you have to set up your equipment, and you have to monitor the video, the audio,
well, basically you have
the weather.
Yeah, you have to you have to find a location, and you have to have a hypothesis. Wow.
Hypothesis.
Hypothesis. Set up your experiment, and then test your hypothesis.
Right.
And to do that, you need to, and you also need a control. So you need to you not only need to set up all your equipment in a haunted location.
You have to set it up in a not haunted location.
In a supposedly non-haunted location.
And then you have to monitor this equipment for
the data from both
3 to 4 years.
Yeah,
5 years.
The daily data from both places.
And this stuff has to be poured over and poured over and poured over by hundreds of hours, hundreds and thousands of hours of manpower.
Yeah.
To come to the conclusion, do ghosts exist? I mean, this could take 5-6 years, and the only the only people that are going to do this
Would be a university.
would be universities with a grant.
Right.
So until the government will actually offer grants in the paranormal,
Or some rich
or
person.
some very wealthy person pays
Yep.
for it themselves to
Yeah.
have this done, it's never going to happen. It'd be kind of cool to have somebody like Sci-Fi Channel or somebody to foot the bill for a scientific method study for a year or two.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of nice. That'd be kind of cool.
it would be.
But then, can you trust their evidence? You know, can you trust their evidence?
See, once you start getting, PhDs involved in this,
Yeah,
they don't want their credibility.
right. So they're going to be very honest about what they
Destroyed,
find
yeah.
and don't find.
If you have actual scientists from an actual university doing a real study that they got a grant for, that grant isn't to have them prove that paranormal does exist. That money is for them to present their findings at the end,
Right.
Yeah.
no matter what they are. And an actual PhD, a researcher, is not going to risk their career by falsifying evidence.
Right.
No.
Because they don't care whether they find stuff or not.
But at the same time, if Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters, at the end of every show, they said we didn't find anything, they're not going to stay on the air for very long.
No.
Right.
No.
Oh, yeah, it's about halfway.
And you got to realize the shows that are on TV are for entertainment.
Yeah.
They're entertainment, and that's how you got to understand. If they didn't find stuff and embellish on some things and maybe a little over dramatize a few things, they wouldn't have anybody watching. It would be a very boring show. But you groups out there, which you just got to understand, when you say scientific, you're using tools, a recorder, a video recorder, a audio recorder, your EMF meters. Those are tools, and you're using them to the best of your ability to try and capture paranormal evidence.
Yeah.
Anomalies, whatnot.
Right. Where you're using this type of equipment is one way of investigating, and of course the other method is using psychics and mediums and
Dowsing rods.
and stuff like that, which is very unscientific. But it's up to the individual groups how they want to do it. I mean, they're going to do it, but please don't call yourselves a scientific group if you're
Not scientific.
not scientific.
Yeah.
Yes,
I agree.
Scientific is a very big word, and very few people are going to stand up to that word.
Well, at least using the scientific method, yeah.
Right. I mean, I guess you can say you're scientific in the way that you can say, well, we don't use mediums, we don't use dowsing rods. Everything we do is using equipment that we verify, that we record, and we can that we can play back, and people can see it for themselves. And that's about as scientific as most groups get.
Yeah.
All right, we should probably take a break.
Okay, about that time.
Yeah, it's been past that time, but.
Yes.
Well, I said it's.
All right.
He
He
heard
did
me.
say it.
Did he?
Yeah, you didn't
Yeah.
hear me?
No. See, that's why I need my darn clock going.
About 3 minutes ago.
All right, what do we got today? Play some music for us, Dan.
All right, this week we have Prelude to Ruin with Note to Self, and you can check them out on our featured artist page.
Success the top?
Over there, the wise old man of the mountain.
Hey, wise old man, what's the meaning of life?
That's easy. Just listen to Let's Talk Ghosts every Sunday night from 8 to 9 on DTMWickedRadio.com.
Hey, this is Jay Wasley from Ghost Adventures, and you're listening to Let's Talk Ghosts.
And that was Prelude to Ruin with Note to Self, and you can check them out on our featured artist page.
Yes, you can, all day long.
All day, every day.
All day, every day.
All day,
And like
every
I
day.
say on Twitter, we are always 100% free.
And always 100% crazy.
Yes, we are.
I think we should start charging though.
You think we're going to start charging $100 an episode or something?
Yeah, like a monthly fee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that would work.
Well, we'll just take people's credit card numbers and just
Yes.
charge what we feel
That's
is
true.
fair.
That's true. That would be good. Yeah.
We
what
won't.
feel
We
is
won't
fair.
tell them the exact
The
amount.
exact amount, right?
Yeah.
That would
Anyway,
work.
guys, what time is it?
It's time
Time
for
for
What the Heck Does That Mean? All right. What's the word, Dan?
The word this week is Poco-Carantish.
Poco Carantish?
Yeah,
Poco Carantish.
Poco-Carantish.
Poco Carantish. Poco means poco stick.
A pogo stick.
Oh yes, a poco stick. It's spelled P-O-C-O
P-O-C-O.
C-U-R-A-N-T-I-S-H.
Poco Carantish.
Yeah.
Okay. Poco Carantish. That is Incan, from the Incan language, meaning one who worships caterpillars.
You're right.
I knew it. I'm telling you, I saw this on National Geographic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
No?
Oh.
No, not
No.
it.
It's not Incan?
No, not Incan.
Sumerian?
Is this
Yeah. It is not Sumerian.
It is not Sumerian.
No.
What is the
I-
origin of the word?
The origin of the word is I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, you have no clue.
I'm going to take a guess. Poco Carantish is someone who is kind of
Pokey? Slow.
pokey.
They're slow. Poco means slow because it rhymes with cocoa. Whenever I drink cocoa, I don't want to burn my mouth, so I drink it slow.
Well, actually,
Someone who doesn't do well with public space. With public spaces.
No.
Okay.
Was he close? Not far
Well,
off.
he's getting there. He's
Okay,
he's
this is
warm.
it. Okay, answer me this: yes
Yeah.
or no? Is it a condition?
It could be.
Oh my God, it could be. So it may not be.
No, it's not really a condition. It's
Is
more.
it?
It's more of an attitude.
An attitude.
Yeah.
It's the attitude of not liking big crowds of people.
That would be more of a condition.
Okay, it's attitude of wanting to kill all the big crowds of people.
That would also probably be a condition.
Yeah, a nutty condition.
Yeah.
It's the attitude that you think you're better than everybody in a big crowd of people.
It has nothing to do with big crowds of people.
Oh, okay. The
Okay.
attitude you
Okay.
think you're better than everybody in a small crowd of people.
Yes.
Like if
No.
like you're the only one in the room.
Yeah.
I'm better than everybody in here.
No.
No, it's the power of positive stinking.
Positive stinking.
Yeah,
When you stink positively.
you stink positive. You say that positively stinks. No,
No.
all right, I give up.
And
I'm stumped.
Poco-Carantish is careless or indifferent.
Careless or indifferent.
Yeah.
Okay, like you're careless. You're pokerantish about our YouTube videos.
Yes, I am.
That's the sentence you could have used.
yeah.
Yeah.
I am poco caranish about YouTube, our YouTube videos.
I am.
Yes, you are.
Well, once I found out how long they take to upload, like 4 hours of video, that's kind of a
Well,
pain.
yeah, from your house. Yours
Yeah.
goes a little faster.
Yeah, like 2 hours of video.
Eh. Anyways, you're listening to Let's Talk Ghosts, and with us today is Dan and Will. I thought I'd throw that in.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing, now we were talking about investigating scientifically and that sort of thing. But
Yeah.
now the second half of the show, this is what we're going to kind of hit on a little bit. Now, Dan, just make sure, because I don't have my clock, I want to have 5 or 6 minutes left to the end there.
I may or may not tell you.
I know. I don't like not having my own clock going.
Well, it's your own fault. I gave you a countdown and everything.
I know.
And I even reminded you in the beginning to grab your tablet.
I know it. My fault. I take 100% responsibility. Now, the one thing Will was talking about is people, have different ways of preparing for a haunting.
For an investigation.
For an investigation.
Yeah.
Now, when you go, do you have any rituals or anything that you do before you do an investigation?
Not ones I can say on the air.
Okay.
No.
I thought, well, maybe it was some secret chant or something. You suddenly turn into like a little demon or something.
I do have a lucky charm that I wear under my shirt every investigation I go on.
The cereal?
The what?
Lucky Charm?
No.
Wouldn't that get sticky?
No, but like I know people, like we were talking earlier, I know a group that they do the prayer of St. Michael before they go on into every investigation.
Right. I've heard that a lot of people do use the St. Michael prayer. Yes.
I know groups that will do things they call bubbling up, where you picture yourself getting bathed in white light.
Right.
And I think it's more to mentally protect you when you go in.
Envisioning yourself, the power of expelling or pushing energy out away from you and that sort of thing. And there's a lot of people just do like the Lord's Prayer, and they'll do different things before they go in.
Yeah.
Well, what I like to do is right next door to my house is a Catholic church. Now out front they have a fountain, and I'm just assuming that fountain has holy water in it. So I go and roll around in the fountain for a little while.
That would work.
Yeah, just to kind of douse myself.
Yeah.
It's probably not.
That probably works really well.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you haven't been possessed yet.
No, not that you know of.
Not that I know of. Now, I have never been attacked, or I've never been attacked or anything by a spirit. Have you, Will?
This happened just recently. I would say 6 months ago for the first time, I felt like I needed to leave a location.
Okay.
And I started getting heavy. I started slurring my words. I couldn't think of what I wanted to say next.
Mm-hmm. Now, was this in a private residence?
No, this was a business.
Okay.
It was one that you were supposed to go on, and you were not able to go on with us.
Okay.
And I had to leave the area that we were in.
Huh.
And
I've never had that happen.
Yeah, that was the first time that I said I got to get out of here.
Yeah, the investigations we've done, we've never really done anything special beforehand.
About the only thing we've ever had was like you were touched up at Erie Mansion. You said it felt like somebody put their hand on your shoulder.
Right.
Or tapped your shoulder.
Yeah.
I've never even had that. I've never been touched by a ghost or a spirit. Not that I know of, that I felt. So I don't know. I wish I would like to be. I'd like to see what it feels like, but it just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
You're just not lucky.
No, I just want to be touched. That sounds really creepy.
Yeah, no.
I just want them to touch me.
And as a matter of fact, this same area, on the same session, we had something incredible happen. We had a wire coat hanger, which was hanging up on the other side of the wall. I told you about this. It came around and hit the pipe in the room we were in, and we have that on our EVP. Unfortunately, they didn't have the video on that at the time, but it was just amazing.
Can't have a camera aimed everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Now, I don't really prepare myself for an investigation as far as other than just getting my equipment ready. I will admit I am not a very religious person. I'm not saying there is no God, but I'm not saying there is a God. I don't know. I'm not a religious person. And I just look at it this way. When I go, if there is a God, he's going to look at my life, that I've been a very good person. I haven't intentionally hurt anybody. I've always led a pretty clean life, pretty good life, and I think I'll just have to take that for what it is.
Yeah. And we don't really incorporate a lot of religion into our investigations.
No.
I do have a rosary that I've brought along as a trigger object.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're going into like a private residence where the people that are there are Catholic, and the people that have died in the house are Catholic, a rosary may be something that what's nice about a rosary is you can set it up on a bed, like in a diamond shape, and you can tell if it's been moved or touched or.
Right.
One thing is for sure: if there is a heaven, when I die, I hope they have ice cream.
I think heaven would have to be coated in ice cream.
I think
Chocolate?
I think that'll be the name of my autobiography. I hope there's ice cream in heaven.
See,
Well-
I don't want ice cream in heaven.
Heavenly hash.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's heavenly.
I'm an ice cream fanatic. I love ice cream.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
a
like
big ice
heroin.
cream.
To me, ice cream is my heroin.
Yeah.
I can take or leave ice cream.
Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not a big
I
fan.
mean, you wouldn't go to think of it from looking at me, but I can really eat.
I'm not allowed to have ice cream in the house.
Because he'll devour the whole thing.
And my wife is doing it not to be mean, but to help me out with my health because I have had heart attacks and stuff. And ice cream is my heroin. If there is ice cream in the freezer, I will eat the entire half gallon in a day. I just can't stop eating it. I love ice cream. And so my only way to get ice cream is not to have it in the house, but to every maybe once a month, me and her will go to an ice cream stand.
Yeah.
And I'll get an ice cream. That's how I get my ice cream. I cannot have it in the house or I will eat the entire half.
I have ice cream like a block away from my house.
All right.
And I've been there. I got ice cream for the first time this summer. Just the other day. Because I went down with Delia. And I got a small vanilla chocolate twist.
My wife, every time we go over to the one in Candor, that one ice cream stand over in Candor, it's
Right.
right next to that big trailer park.
Yeah.
Every time we're sitting there looking, could you imagine living here? It's like we both weigh 400 pounds. I mean, basically an ice cream stand right in your front yard.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I have. I just walk around the corner.
We're talking down to Joey's.
At Joey's, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, because they have the custard, which is just soft serve, and they
Now,
have the Italian ice.
Let's get back to haunted stuff. Now that we've
Talked about ice
talked
cream.
about ice cream, we talk about everything on this show.
We do.
We try to cover all the basics.
Bases, you mean?
Basics. Basic ice cream.
Well, the saying is cover all the bases.
Yeah, the basis, whatever. You know what I don't mean.
I do know what you don't mean.
Now, the other thing we want kind of a three-way discussion on here is what makes a haunted location haunted, and does the history of the location, the history of the land, does that necessarily mean a place is going to be haunted, or does the haunting have nothing to do with the history, or does it have everything to do with the history? What do you think, Will, on something like that?
Well, I don't think that just because something horrible like a tragic death or something happens at a home or a battle on a piece of land, that's going to necessarily make that land or that home haunted.
Right.
As investigator, and I do a lot of research, that's what I first look at.
The history of a piece of land.
The history of the piece of land,
To try
history
and
of the
find
home.
because you want to know if there was a battle, or maybe maybe a homicide or something horrific happened on a piece of property.
And unless I have a compelling piece of evidence that coincides with the battle that happened on that land or the murder or whatever that took place in that
Right.
home, I just go to the client and I say, this is what we found out. It could be related to this,
Right.
but we're not saying it is for sure.
Yeah, I don't think the history of property always. I don't think it is the total story.
There's got to be more factors.
There definitely has to be more factors than just the history of the property.
Yeah, just because a murder occurred in the house does not mean the house is going to be haunted. If that person crosses over, then there's not going to be a ghost.
I
there.
love these places that are trying to make money on the paranormal. They'll have a restaurant out in the Midwest somewhere, and because John Wayne stopped there and ate a hamburger, one time on his way through,
Yeah.
that the ghost haunting their restaurant is John Wayne. Like John Wayne is going to go back and haunt that restaurant because he stopped there on his way through from filming a movie and ate a hamburger there.
Well, didn't some hotel say that about like Frank Sinatra because he
Oh,
stayed
yeah.
there? He didn't die there. He stayed there.
He stayed there, so it's got to be Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Can't just be some other ghost,
Even
unknown. No, they all want celebrity ghosts. Celebrity ghosts are very big.
Yeah,
You
well-
want John Wayne. You want Frank Sinatra.
Well, and the thing is that musicians, they travel constantly.
all the time.
Yeah.
So do movie stars. They're
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And you take somebody like,
they've been in thousands of hotels and
believe me,
thousands
if Frank
of restaurants.
Sinatra was going to haunt anything, he would haunt a casino, or where he because he was based out of Las Vegas.
Right. Well, eventually, yeah, he was singing.
That, if any place he's going to haunt is someplace like that. He's not going to haunt some hamburger joint out in the middle of the desert.
No.
That would be
Yeah.
that would be kind of odd. However, I just saw a story. There is a restaurant. I think it's a restaurant inn type thing out in the desert, and it's right at the base of a hill where an airplane crashed into the mountain, and on that mountain was oh boy, I can't think of who the celebrity was, but it was a woman, and she died in the plane crash. It was a pretty famous movie actress, and her husband, at the time, was Clark Gable. He was whoever it was. She was married to Clark Gable, and he stayed at this inn.
Will's wheels are turning.
And
It's a something saloon.
yeah,
The something. I know it, and I just can't think of it right now.
They think she's the one haunting that because they think her spirit came down to be with her husband off the mountain, which is only a few miles away from where the plane crashed. And matter of fact, there's still parts of the plane up there.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
Was it
about.
Ghost Adventures did a show on that?
Yeah.
Did it cover
and
that?
there's a mine not too far from there that
Yes.
they also investigated as well.
Right. But they think that she might be the one haunting their, and that might make sense because she came down if she came down to find her husband, if
Well,
she knew he was
as a
there.
matter of fact, when they went up and they were getting the bodies from the crash, they brought them to that site
Right.
in that saloon.
Right. And
Yeah.
she might have followed him back.
Yeah.
I don't know. That could be a case where maybe that could happen. But just because a celebrity stops somewhere and eats a hamburger and then passes away 10 years later doesn't mean he's coming back there to haunt.
No, I know.
No, that's just trying to make money off the paranormal. I don't know. But the history of a place can have an effect, I guess.
Well, it's definitely a factor.
Yeah, it can definitely be a factor. And like the point I made, like say this is all fiction. I'm making this up. Say in the 1700s, a settler in this area built a log cabin, and either in somehow, whether maybe it was Native Americans or maybe British soldiers or something came in and slaughters them.
Or neighbor over land
Or
dispute.
something, but they get the whole
Or just
family.
outlaws.
Right, the whole family gets massacred in this, family of 5 or 6 people all get killed. The women, the children, everybody gets killed, and they burn the cabin down.
Right.
Around them. Okay, so that's done. That's over with. It's already happened. Horrific thing. And now fast forward 150, 200 years, and now that happens to be a subdivision. In some
duplex gets put up.
and a duplex gets put up right on that exact spot, or
Right.
somebody builds a raised ranch right on
Raised
that exact
ranch,
spot.
Yeah.
Is that raised ranch going to be haunted?
Could be.
And then they do have weird things happen, and then now you look back to the history, and that could be the answer.
I mean, there may be no actual way to look into that kind of history.
That would
There
be
may-
right.
Yeah.
You probably would be no written history of that cabin being burned down and the family being murdered. May not even be a written history of that.
Well, because, I mean, the pioneers, before there was newspapers and stuff
or
like
it
that.
would be a very hard thing to find, to locate.
Very hard.
Believe it or not, though, you go back 200 or 300 years, back in the old days, before now, way back, they wrote a lot of stuff down. They logged everything. They did write a lot of things down. Everybody kept journals. Everybody kept diaries, and it was just what everybody did. People kept journals and diaries. And
Right, but there's still there was a lot of families in the pioneer days that went off to claim a patch of land,
And
got
came up
killed,
missing.
and just
never be heard or seen
Right.
again. Right. That
Whether
happened
it's
quite often.
disease, Indians,
Right. We
whatever.
actually have a member of our family that happened to, that we think happened. My cousin is always trying to find. Been working on our family tree for many, many, many years, and there's a missing link in our family that would connect us directly back to England. And he can't find that missing link because he says the person probably just died on a road somewhere during the 1700s and probably just got buried in a shallow grave, and that was it.
Right.
There's no record of them anywhere. So it's just a really tough thing to do sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when this country was being, pioneered and
Right.
formed and everything, yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, how much time do we have left?
We have 5 minutes.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're supposed to let me have more time than that. Well, I'll try and do it quick.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I know. That wasn't very nice. Coming up in September 26th, 27th, 28th is the FL Paracon in Auburn, New York. It will be held at the Hilton Garden Inn Event Center, put on by the Upstate Paranormal Society. You can go to their website at www.flparacon.com. You can call them at 315-406-4866 or email flparacon@gmail.com. We're going to be there for the 27th and 28th. We're going to have a table. Come on up and meet the crew. It's a weekend long event. On Friday, you can go ghost hunting with some local groups. The fee, it's $10 for adults, and it's free for anyone 17 and under.
That's for the 2-day convention each day, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's. I don't know if. Yeah, I'm assuming that's per day, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm assuming. 'Cause I doubt you'd go for 2 days.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if there's nothing. I don't know. But there's going to be it's a day-long para-convention featuring ghost hunting teams, psychics, mediums, UFO researchers, Bigfoot investigators, palm readers, tarot card readers, and Reiki practitioners from across upstate New York.
Well, and isn't the ghost hunting by donation?
The ghost hunting that you'd go on Friday night is by donation, and it is to help haunted locations because a lot of them are under reconstruction. They're trying to rehab a lot of these buildings, bring them back to their old glory. So donations, they'll be asking for donations for that. Should be a lot of fun.
It should be.
Like I say, you can come up. You can meet the LTG crew. It'll be me and Dan will be there. Will's got a previous appointment, so he will not be there.
Yeah, I have a previous event that I'm going to be at.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I just got asked this week if I would actually do a panel on the paranormal during the event I'm going to be at.
Right. So now you are listening to Let's Talk Ghost
Good job.
at www.letstalkghost.com. You can find us on dtmwickedradio.com every Sunday night. You can listen to us between 8 and 9 o'clock. You can also find us on iHeartRadio. You can search for DTM Wicked Radio, and we are in their listings. You can find us on Facebook. Search for Let's Talk Ghost. You can find us on Twitter. Search for Let's Talk Ghost. And if Dan would ever put videos up, we are on YouTube. There's several videos up there now. You can see us on YouTube.
Sure can.
Yeah, we video our shows now. They're not very exciting. We don't do much. But
We're just going to sit here and talk.
But if you want to listen to our show and see us in person doing the shows and what we do during the shows, we do hold signs up with funny stuff on them and things.
Yep.
Which is cool, man.
Cool.
And how about you, Will? Anything going on with you?
You can find us at bprsparanormal.com. You can search for us on Twitter and Facebook at bprsparanormal.com.
What do we got left?
Well, 2 minutes total.
See, this is why I need a clock there, ding-a-ling.
We're fine. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a pain.
We still have like a full minute of actual airtime to kill. That's why I meant by 1 minute.
Oh, you meant one?
Yeah.
I thought you meant we had 1 minute left.
No.
So
See,
for
I
the
should
last minute, let's just talk about how many minutes we have.
Is that
Yeah.
how many minutes we got? How many minutes we don't have? That'll make a really good ending of the show.
Yeah. But
It
if you
will.
guys are on YouTube and you're watching this, leave a comment below.
Yeah, like
And
why?
make sure you
why
like-
aren't there any more shows up other than the 6 or 7 that are there?
Well, if
I
they're
don't
watching
know.
this show, that means I actually put the last 10 shows we've done up there. So.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Right. We would like that.
Share it with your
Yes.
friends.
And we about there?
No, not yet. I'll let you know when.
Oh my God! I need
He's
my
really-
clock back. I am lost without my clock countdown clock.
Isn't it just driving you nuts?
Yeah, it is. It is. It really is. Now, are we? What are we doing now, Will? We could dance for a while. Da 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 da.
Good.
da, da, da.
Okay, you can go ahead and say it now.
Okay. Hey, we'll see you all on the next investigation.